Hi, I'm Christian Lee Hutson. This song is yours.
Where do you want this to go? Fuck if I know. If you tell a lie for long enough, then it becomes the truth. I am gonna.
Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, Christian Lee Hutson.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Australia, to Melbourne.
I love it.
You played a show with Phoebe last night. How did that go? How did it go?
It was so fun. Yeah, it was. We were here. I was here with her in 2019. How long ago was that? 5 years ago? 10 years
What
ago?
feels like 5 years ago, yeah.
And we played that time. I think like a Croxton.
The Croxton, yeah.
And then last night was just so wild to see how many people know her music now.
I was going to say, a friend and I were at the Croxton gig a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
And the change in crowd from that venue to the sheer volume of people.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, is it strange for you to go from, I guess, crowds like that previous Croxton, and obviously yourself and Phoebe have gotten bigger in popularity, but then to play in these rooms with thousands of people and also all these people kind of singing your songs back along? Because I noticed the fans knew your songs quite a bit as well.
It is weird. Yeah. I feel like we maybe talked about this last time I was on the show, but I definitely, during lockdown, it's kind of impossible. I assumed that no one heard my music at all, so it's definitely wild to like see real people out in the world that's not just the internet. Yeah.
I can appreciate that. Yeah, well, especially during COVID, it is that everyone's in their own little bubble. The second record, sorry to do this too.
Oh no, you're good.
It is Quitters. Is a fantastic record. The second record.
Thank you. I'm glad you think so.
No, how are you finding the reaction to the record now that's been out for? When did we speak?
We spoke like in April.
Yes, April. Yeah, so it's been almost coming up to a year.
Yeah. How am I finding like
how it's been received, the reception?
I think it's been great. I mean, anytime I put anything out, I feel like I'm like expect there to be like 5 people that hear it. So anytime it means something to someone, it is really cool. So I've been just stoked that I can keep playing music.
My head on the plexiglass. I can't remember where my house is at, and this Mom's Against Drunk Driving that keeps playing on a loop in the back of the cab. What a pitiful hill to climb.
So we were discussing a second ago, House of Pontiac.
Yeah.
Her and I have been discussing that it is such a brilliant record. I did speak with Samia as well last week, who I know you contributed to her record.
Her record is so fucking good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Right? I was wanting to speak, I guess, to you about collaboration, because you've collaborated with Samia, with Phoebe, with Alex Leahy, as you said last night at the concert. How do you find collaborating with artists, and I guess your process on that?
I just really, when you really like someone's what they do, it is really easy and cool to be invited in to like see how they work on stuff. I love Samia's music so much, and her, I really just like being useful. If there is a way that I can be like, oh, that song is fucking sick. What if you did something like this? So yeah, I don't know. It's cool as a fan of a lot of music to get to, just see the inner workings of other people's stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Are you? You mentioned last night you wrote Rubberneckers with Alex Leahy.
Yeah.
And that was over Zoom, but so there's a technicality written in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Are you going to be doing any other songwriting while you're here in Australia? Or do you write on the road while you're on the road?
I have a hard time writing on the road just because I'm like too sleepy or something. I'm too sleepy to have any thoughts beyond like get to, go wake up, go and do it, get food so that you can get through today. But I definitely will. I mean, I feel like Alex and I are probably going to write some more stuff together.
Let's get the old vein
we are here at Happy Valley Records in Collingwood today.
Yeah.
And you're very kindly going to pick out some records for us, which you think should be in everyone's collection.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Please go have a look, and we'll check back in with you in a sec.
It's really bumming me out that suddenly no one wants to play it fucking loud. Let's get the old band back together again. Let's get back in the room and let the magic happen.
I mean, really any fucking one of these Bright Eyes records. I got a box set last year or maybe a few years ago. It was of all of the LPs before the most recent one that they put out. And I feel like he's like one of the best writers of all time.
But don't you weep, don't you weep, there's nothing as lucky, honey, don't you weep.
This record I really like a lot. When I was in high school, I used to listen to this on my little iPod. I had a pink iPod mini, and I would go and do gym class, and I never would participate. I would just sit there and listen to this record over and over again. It's cool seeing what we were talking about collaborating earlier. Like, I love going into record shops now and seeing shit that I played on, or that I played on this record like 6 years ago or something. I love getting to go in and be like, I fucking did shit on that. Yeah.
That's it.
That's crazy to me. As like a person who, when I was a kid, I lived by a record shop in Santa Monica and would go in all the time, and felt like very uncool to be there. And like it wasn't for me. It's cool now to get to go, and there's some stuff that I worked on in a place. This is also, I feel like, obvious, but Red, the best Taylor Swift album. Fucking amazing. Oh, this is a lot. Jesus Christ. This is the track list. This is like a paragraph. It's insane. I've never seen, I had like the copy of not Taylor's version, but the old one. Obviously All Too Well. Fucking, I feel like this is the one, maybe one of the only records of hers, though like I'm a huge fan of hers, where I feel like every single song, there's nothing that I ever am like skipping around to get to the best moment. Begin Again, I fucking love that. Yeah. Treacherous, I Almost Do. Yeah, fucking such a good record.
That's the one Phoebe's on.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was like, which I was there, I went into the studio the day that they went, the day that she recorded the vocals for that, because I was just like, went to drop something off with her or whatever, we'll hang out when we're in LA. And it was the hardest secret to keep that she was gonna do that. I thought it was so fucking cool. And that is my favorite song on the re-release. Oh, this record. I'm doing a tour with her later this year. Fen is one of my favorite songwriters that I've gotten to work with. And yeah, she has a new record coming out, but every single record she's put out is really good. My favorite song on this is Car Park. Also, fucking amazing album cover.
Maybe I should tell you that I've villainized my body for too long. Would it help you find excuses to move on?
All these things are always so funny to do because I'm like, oh, do I just have like the most obvious basic taste? But Alex G, fucking any Alex G record also. I really like this one. I don't have it, but I should. I have Rocket, which I don't think they have here, but I love his weird songs. I love, this is also a really good one. He also has like amazing artwork. Oh, I've been on a huge Kinks kick recently. I feel like, I don't know how, they never were like that big in the US, but I was just talking about how they have like the most hits out of anyone from like the era that the Beatles and the Stones were playing, but for some reason no one talks about them. But almost any time in the US when you're like listening to like an oldies radio station, you could listen to like for like an hour and they'll play like 3 or 4 Kinks songs. And every time I talk to people about whether or not like they know whose song that is, that no one ever knows it's the Kinks, but they have so many like different hits too. Like You Really Got Me, that song Strangers is really fucking good. Sunny Afternoon, Waterloo Sunset, it's just, I don't know why they were like, they didn't have like name recognition like sticking in your head in the US. Like people would know who that is, but they'd be like, oh, I don't know any songs though. But they do. I feel like another thing that makes me seem kind of basic, but I love Tusk by Fleetwood Mac. I went through a period, like, you know, when you get like obsessed with a song where you just like listen to it on repeat over and over and over again and like try and like dare it to like lose power in your mind. But with the song What Makes You Think You're the One, I just think it's like such a sick, like really like raucous live sounding song. I love Lindsey Buckingham's voice and guitar playing. Yeah. Okay, also when I was in high school, this came out. And this was like a box set of all of Tom Waits, like, I guess just like abandoned songs over the years, but it was like 3 different records. And it was like one that was like his, whatever, like stompy, like little, like I'm a fucking dwarf kind of working in a coal mine shit. And then there was, the second one was, the second disc of it or whatever was ballads, and this has like some of his best songs on it. Long Way Home, fucking love that song. Never Let Go, Fanning Street, yeah. Yeah, he's one of my favorite songwriters. Also used to listen to that all the time. I had like a fantasy when I was a kid of being like a little coal mine guy. I don't know why. I think I just thought it was cool that
I can appreciate it. Yeah.
It seemed like a cool aesthetic that now seems very lame to me, but as many things do. I didn't even see these back here. This is one of my favorite records, Silver Jews. Random Rules. That was one of like the saddest deaths of the last few years to me.
I tell you they make it so you can't shake hands when they make your hand shake.
Because I just really admire his writing. And he has an amazing book of poetry, David Berman, called Actual Air, that is sick. But this record has my favorite opening line of like any album, which is, in 1984 I was hospitalized for approaching perfection. Definitely an essential. I came over here for another reason. Julia, obviously. I feel like all Australians probably know Julia already. I played, I think Julia's first show in LA, I opened for her, and then we became pals. And this record is one of my absolute favorite records. The last time I was in Melbourne, I don't know if this had come out yet, but she was just starting to sell these jumpers, and I hit her up. She was on tour, but I was like, is there any way I could get one of those while I'm here, because it's gonna be too expensive to like ship or whatever overseas. And she was like, yeah, my housemate can just leave one outside for you. And I found out later that the one she left for me is the one she actually wore in the on the cover. So I have that somewhere. But yeah, and her new record is also incredible. Oh, yeah, I was looking at Magnetic Field. This one's kind of up here, so, and maybe I won't take it down so I don't mess it up, but this band, Stephen Merritt, is like, I think one of the greatest living songwriters. I got to do a tour with them last year. My first tour back from COVID was with them. And I had that record when I was in high school and just like was obsessed with it. Was obsessed with Papa Was a Rodeo. And doing that tour, I realized like, you actually literally have written some of the best songs of all time. And they're spread out across, they have like, I don't know, 15 records or something. But yeah, they have another great record called I, that every song starts with the letter I. And then another one of my favorites is called 50 Song Memoir, that has a beautiful song about New York City in it, called Have You Seen It in the Snow? It's an amazing, should be like a Christmas song, but it isn't.
Sing me